Good afternoon and welcome to Across the Fence. I'm Jolene Whitney. In a few minutes, we'll dip into our archives to bring you a story about a way of life that continues to thrive thanks to the horsepower and the business acumen of UVM Extension. First, Essex, Vermont has seen many changes in the past year. It has become its own municipality since separating from the city of Essex Junction, and an upcoming community celebration brings a sense of community and unique identity to the town of Essex and all it has to offer for food, fun, and family activities. Our two guests today are the organizers of this event, Nicole Moan St. Marth. She's the program director of Essex Park and Recreation, and Jen Merritt, business coordinator of Essex Park and Rec. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so let's get started. It's Saturday, September 21st. Can you tell me what's planned?
Yeah, basically it is a community day festival. We designed the festival to give the town of Essex the opportunity to get together, build community, and kind of show off everything that the town of Essex has to offer.
And where is it going to be held?
We'll be at the Foster Road Park off of Sandhill Road in Essex, and the community day runs from 10 to 3.
Okay, that's exciting. And so let's jump into a little bit of what you folks have planned.
Sure.
So there's the community day, but this also kicks off about 2 weeks of celebration. Can you tell me what's going to be going on then?
Right, so Community Day is the start of the Explore Essex festival, where we're inviting people from other communities to come and check out area businesses, different establishments like the Essex Experience. There's also the Historical Society, Aunt Dot's Food Shelf. Basically just having people come in, stop in. Most of the businesses will be running specials during those weeks and have special activities taking place at their locations, so people can come and just check out the different amenities that Essex has.
Great, and this is the third year it's happening, and how has been attendance for the last couple?
It's been good. The first year was our first, obviously the first year is kind of got the growing pains and you figure everything out. And it was a learning experience, but it was kind of the basis for what we were looking for in our basic. We really wanted something for the community to celebrate, and just for individuals to know what's in the community too, because there's a lot of new families, there's a lot of seniors in our community, and we want something for all of them. The second year was great, even despite the rainy weather we had. Obviously on things like this, you can't predict what the weather's gonna do. But we kind of shifted gears, turned it inside, but it was a very busy day. We had people coming in and out all day long. And from that, we've just built upon it this year. It's gotten a lot bigger this year. We are outside, rain or shine, no matter what at this point. But just with all the live entertainment, the food trucks, and we've had a lot of support from the community in different aspects. And I think people are looking forward to it for sure.
And you mentioned a lot of the events coming up, and we talked about some in the beginning. We've got face painting, hay rides, carnival games, but there's a lot more going on. Can you tell me what parents and kids can expect?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of everything. Whether you have kids or not, you're going to find stuff there for you. We have some great live entertainment between bands and the magician that we talked about, but we also have a pretty large craft fair and a lot of nonprofits that are also going to be there with a lot of information about different organizations in the area. So there's a lot to learn about, and there's a lot of supporting our local artists as well. So that'll be there. We also have a great Touch-A-Truck, which kids and sometimes adults enjoy as well. We'll have some great race cars.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And we're gonna have fire trucks, and kids always
First
love
responders. Yeah.
That area is a nice area for people just kind of firsthand. The National Guard's going to be there to interact with some of the different areas, and we're also going to be doing it's kind of for Aunt Dot's. If people come with a canned good, they can drop off a canned good, and we're doing a kind of wheelbarrow collection for Aunt Dot's.
And get entered into some raffles.
And
Nice,
there's
so a lot going on.
Different ways to
different
participate.
ways to participate for sure.
All right, speaking of participating, you folks also have a baking contest, is that right?
We do. We have baking contests for adults and kids. We started doing that last year. It was a lot of fun. The kids really got into it last year with cookies. This year, kids are doing a cupcake contest with a fall decorating theme. Adults are doing a cake contest. So any adult or child is welcome to enter. There's no fee to enter. They just let us know, register.
From Pampered Chef.
Donated from
Joey
Pampered Chef.
Russell from Pampered Chef donated all prizes. So the kids and the adults have their own little Pampered Chef that's related to baking.
Great.
Prize gift, our prize set that they'll get. And it's just kind of a fun way. The kids the kids last year were great. It was a little slower on the pie baking contest for the adults, but we all had some yummy treats, and the kids were pretty creative last year. They were very creative with their decorations, and so I can't wait to see what they come up with this year.
All right, we're almost out of time, but you also mentioned before there's going to be some live entertainment. So Star 92.9 and 95 XXX will be on air, so it sounds like there's going to be kind of a lot going on in that sense.
Yeah.
They're going to be there, and then we also have, we've had some really great sponsors this year too. Heco Engineering, Community Bank, Vermont Federal, just to name a few. But we're going to have the John Randall Band, and Banjo Dan is going to be there, and Alex the Magician on our main stage. And then we have some smaller things like the Kids Carnival, the hay rides, things like that are kind of some of our other great sponsors like Revision,
Lamel
Lumber, and Hamel.
Nice.
Hamlin, I'm sorry, have also helped to like really create these and have these available.
They're all businesses that really want to see the town of Essex grow as a community.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And if you're interested in taking part in this, Essex Community Day takes place September 21st from 10 to 3 at Foster Road Park. You can visit the website on your screen for more details. And from town to country, Third Branch Horse Logging works in the woods of central Vermont. We visited with Brad and Derek and Ted and Bob in 2020 to learn how old world techniques are being given a fresh perspective thanks to UVM Extension's Forest Business Program.
Brad Johnson and Derek O'Toole are what you would call workhorses. Durable, dependable, and hardworking. Bob and Ted would agree. And they should know.
We work with them, they don't work for us.
Johnson and O'Toole own and operate Third Branch Horse Logging. To watch them work the woods using animal power invokes a way of lifelong past. But make no mistake, these men and these horses aren't here for sentimental reasons. They're here to work.
And that's the assumption, right, in the public at large, and we're always fighting those assumptions like, oh, you're a horse logger, well, it's something you do on the side or for fun, or you have some other business, or it's not, it can't possibly be a full-time job. You can't really be running a small business as Power with Horses. We hear that all the time. And the reality is we're making the same kinds of analysis and decisions that every other small business owner is making.
People often make the kind of jump that we are anti-heavy machinery, anti-skidders, anti-harvesters, feller bunchers, and that's just not true. We just have a different model. And yeah, the horses may have been brought from the old world, but we feel that they are still a relevant tool as far as we can see.
Horses were used for centuries as the primary draft animal on the farm and in the forest. Because, well, they work.
We're trying to use the horses on as much acreage as we can because they are the most nimble extraction tool. Nothing has come on the market yet that weighs this much, even though he is about a ton, and can move as much weight and go through a 3-foot gap.
The horses primarily work on the stump, so the tree is felled.
Easy, G.
It's laid down, it's limbed and cut to length. We move that wood out to a place where the tractor can pick it up, and then the tractor makes that longer distance, that forward from the place where the horses leave it out to the landing, and then the tractor is able to stack it. But we need both tools to be commercially viable.
Third Branch Horse Logging provides landowners with a less is more approach to forestry that prioritizes long-term goals over quick profits.
We're certainly not a quantitative extraction tool. We pull out a lot less. The trees that are left behind, we're trying to do everything we can to give them the best shot to become the next generation of high-quality, healthy trees.
We want to minimize our impact in every possible way while still providing a good financial option and a good long-term ecological option for landowners. And that's a little bit of a different approach. When I ask them to prioritize their top 5 goals for this cut, timber sale is probably not going to be number 1. It might be number 3, but they might have things like carbon sequestration. They might have things like cross-country ski trails for them and their kids and their grandkids. They might have things like bird habitat. But in every case, almost all of them have a very long-term perspective beyond timber sale.
Third Branch Horse Logging offers a unique approach to forestry, but it's no different from any other ag-based business. In order to work, it has to be profitable.
We still have to plug into a commodity market at the end of the day. And all of our expenses leading up to that truck taking those logs to the mill has to work. End of story, right?
In an ideal world, if we could do everything with just the horses and we could make a living doing that, I'd much prefer to do that. I'd rather be on the lines or on the cart than I would be on a tractor seat. But given the economic market in New England, the way logs and wood is bought and sold, we can't make a living doing that.
Yeah, well, with getting your website going, and now you've started
To keep
get
their business on track
an
and in the
outward
black,
facing presence.
Johnson and O'Toole work with Chris Lindgren, a forest business educator with University of Vermont Extension.
It's a different dynamic, for sure, when you add horses into the mix. You know, I work primarily with forest products businesses now, but historically I've worked on farms, and so figuring in those costs of, essentially 24-hour work, which is when you're farming. So they're doing forestry work, but they're also farming because they have animals that they take care of.
There are about 2,000 people working in forest products businesses according to the Vermont Sustainable Jobs Fund. Through workshops and one-on-one consultation, Lindgren works with around 60 clients.
A lot of what I do is work on building people's confidence, both on the sort of analysis, record keeping, business, numbers part of it. Once people see the work that these guys do, if they're the right fit, the right person who's looking for that kind of job, it kind of sells itself.
Chris has been great for us. We frankly needed help in terms of figuring out a number of different things. The biggest one being, how is our model viable in the conventional marketplace? Can you use horses in a way that allows you to make a decent living? So Chris has been super helpful for us in getting our fixed costs, our variable costs down. And I think a lot of folks who use horses, and probably other loggers as well, are really, for the most part, guessing at those numbers, right? And for us, because our profit margins are incredibly small, we really have to know what those numbers are.
The financial viability and sustainability of Third Branch horse logging is yoked to the pride these men have for their work and the horses they work with.
You have to love it, but there's also results on the ground from the work that we're doing that are tangible, that you can see. So coupled with the work that we do and the product that we deliver, and liking the animals and using them for that application, it's something that I like to get up and do.
I love horses. I connect with them. I get something out of my work that I can't get using any other tool. There's something about working with live power that really appeals to me, and frankly, I think I'm skilled with it, and the tool suits me, and I think I'm able to get something from horses that's pretty magical when you're out there working.
Third Branch horse logging takes a fresh approach to forestry management. And if it looks a little old-fashioned, that's okay, because it still works. In Randolph, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
Thank you, Keith. That takes care of our program for today. My thanks to the crew behind the scenes here at WCAX. I'm Jolie Whitney. Have a good one.